Good evening, good evening. Welcome. It's Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. PTP. People to people, power to power, power to thinking people. I apologize for running a little behind. Some days we anticipate being in order, and then things will just pop up and throw you off a little bit. But at the same time, you got to be prepared and just keep rolling with the punches, no matter what may transpire in your life. And with that said, we, the people, have to be prepared for when things take place and they happen unexpectedly, how we'll go about making the changes. And so my topic today is our wake-up call. I've been feeling like that for a little while. I've been feeling like it's a wake-up call for me as an individual to make changes in my life that will affect those who are coming up behind me and those that are striving in the same direction with the same goals as I am, such as some of my colleagues and friends, family members. And then when I look at my children, it really comes to me to realize that I must continue to move forward to make changes. And I get this wake-up call. You know, sometimes when I'm in a deep sleep, I just wake up and I realize that I have to make a change in some things I'm doing. And so the more and more I start to think about what's going on with us, I realize that it is time for us to have this wake-up call. I've been trying to bring in different individuals because some people have, and mostly it's people that know you and they grew up beside you, whatever. They think you have no position to tell them what is right and wrong. I try to talk just strictly from facts. I talk about things that is common sense. That's why I call it real talk. This is nothing I can fabricate. If I told you that Fred Flintstone was a real person, some people might believe it because they don't know exactly who it is, because they don't know about the Flintstones. But those who know about the Flintstones would know that there ain't no way that Fred Flintstone was a real person. Not the one that was back in the 60s, 70s, when I was growing up. So my point is that I've had some people question me and say, who do I think I am? Or, you know, they question why I do what I do. Well, let me tell you again, I got a wake-up call. I got a wake-up call to know that it's necessary for me to make changes. For me. And it starts with me. So, you know the song, The Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson? Listen to it. It starts with you when you look at your image. It's up to you to make the changes. My point of coming on, at one time I was coming on 5 days a week, and then I cut it down to 3 because it became, this is a lot, especially with us being limited to where we can go and the things we can do. So it requires a lot of me and my wife to try to do this and make sure that we're doing things that's going to not offend anybody, to address the real issues, and at the same time we give you real conversation that's going to change your life. So again, the topic today is the wake-up call, and I'm asking you to sit down and think about everything that's going on around you. Think about everything that's going on around you. Look really at society as it is today. Think about how it was yesterday, how it is now, and you really don't have no idea what it's going to be like tomorrow. If that doesn't give you the chills and a sign that it's an alarm going off somewhere to wake you up, to bring your attention to what's going on around you, no offense to you, but I think that you really need some help. Or either you just that selfish and you don't care. All you worrying about is, you know, your little arena where you walk and sleep in and socialize. The wake-up call is very important. Wake-up call applies to everything, for your service to God, your service to your country, your service to your family, your neighborhood. The whole arena at this time needs to have that wake-up call. God has put us in that position for us to start to look at things differently. And it's a lot of people have no other choice but to look at it. And they have to open up their eyes and see exactly what's been going on for years, hundreds of years. And it is up to us, you, me, and them. People to people, you, me, and them. Them could be whoever you want them to be. Power to power, the power you possess, the power I possess, the power of our Father God, our power of the positive things that goes on, and then it is, we have to acknowledge is their power of the negativity as well. And in that process of us being positive with the power, it causes us to be positive people, which is people to people, power to power, positive people. So my energy right now is, I've just got so much going through me that I'm wondering, are we really making a difference? You know, for me to come on, I jeopardize a lot. And I put myself in a way where, you know, hey, I'm publicly doing this. But I know that it's necessary because I see it. I got the wake-up call. We have to vote. Let's concentrate on that. We have to vote. We have to make the difference within our community who are making decisions around us. At what point did the police start to think that they had that much power to be able to kill people and not be held accountable for it? That's the people that you got in office that's giving them that energy. Those people that's in office is giving them that energy. And it's up to you to get that wake-up call within your brain and your spirit and get out and make a difference. The wake-up call is not just about voting. The wake-up call is about how you're handling your health. We have these issues going on about the mask right now. People, you know, you want to wear a mask. I wear it. They're trying to tell you where you can and cannot go with it. So they are dictating and controlling you. And it's up to you on how you want to expose yourself. I go around with masks. I have about 10, 15 masks. And then I bought the pack of the little ones. I keep them in my car. And I'm not going to be stupid because I'm not the scientist or the doctor or the person that can tell you how this virus really operates. Because I done heard so many things that is starting to make me wonder how much of it is really true. I done heard that the virus can live for 15 minutes. And then in front of me there, I heard that it can last for a few hours. In some cases, I heard that it can last for days, and it all depends on where it is. Get the wake-up call. Wake-up call and start to find out what is going on around you, and how can you make the change. Find out where you stand. Make your choices to do things that's going to make it better, not just for your surrounding, but for your neighborhood. Because when you leave out your house, what happens out there affects you. And it affects you in a way that it'll determine what your tomorrow is going to be like. And if you do not acknowledge this wake-up call that's necessary, you may be in a situation that you're not prepared for. When I joined the United States Marine Corps, I was 17, turned 18 shortly after boot camp, and next thing I know, I was in the Philippines walking the street, and I don't even know if I had already ever been to New York before, but I know I hadn't been farther than Richmond. And here I was now walking the streets in another country. And many times I took it lightly, until a couple of times I was in a situation where my life was on the line, and I got a wake-up call that this is real. And then I started to have to make some changes on how I had to conduct myself. And so my point to saying that is, you know, you may not be prepared for a situation when you put in it, but when you get in it, you need to wake up, and as they say, smell the coffee. You need to wake up and think about what is it that you have to do. I realized that I was not in the United States anymore, and I realized that I had to watch how I conduct myself, and I had to be able to see things from all different directions, even behind me. Because I realized then that I was in an environment that I didn't really have that control over to dictate if I was going to live or die. The wake-up call for me is then given to me in the situation where I was on a patrol, got lost, and I realized that I could be in a situation where I never see my family again. I got the wake-up call. I got a wake-up call that I realized God is real, because as I called on Him, I knew He answered my prayer. And what I'm saying is, get the wake-up call and come to reality to what's going on around you. I'm talking about, if you have a dream and your dream is not moving forward, you need a wake-up call to figure out what is it that's blocking you. If you're on a job and you're not moving forward, you got to look around, get the wake-up call and see what it is, who it is, and why it is that you're not moving forward. These things are very, very important for you as a person to sit back and don't wait for the next person to jump up out of their sleep to say, hey, you know what, you got to vote. Or they wake up, hey, you know what, you better watch out for this person over here. Hey, you wake up and you tell your children, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to walk around like that. You're not supposed to conduct yourself like that. We're at a time that God has given us this opportunity to slow us down for the wake-up call to come to everybody's thinking. Susan, when you stop voting because of a lot of us say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you don't make your vote count for the real people, for the people.
It does matter.
Oh, it does. Let me read that again. When we stop voting because of us saying it does not matter. It does matter when you don't make your vote count for the real people, for the people. Think about that. You know, so I'm going. Susan, let's stay there for a minute. Do you know that there's a lot of people that are hoping that you don't think that it's important to vote? They want you to believe. You know, even the police want you to believe that they really have their authority over you, but really you got it over them. If you respond to the police a certain way, putting your hands up on the steering wheel, doing everything he says, and if he's in violation and you do everything that he asks within reason to not jeopardize your situation, once he's done, you can ask for his name and his badge, and you can document everything that took place, and then you can go to his supervisor. And if his supervisor don't do anything, you go to his supervisor. And that's almost like you'll go to the mayor. And if the mayor don't do something, the mayor got to answer to the individuals over him. Really, the mayor have to answer to you, for real, for real. You just hold a position that you put him in. You hold him accountable. Your votes matter. When you put a person in office and you come up to them and say, I voted for you because you said that this is what you're going to do, that's when the people are taking control to hold these people that we do let it get in office, hold them accountable for their actions. We talk about the highest office in the United States. Okay, yo, let me tell you something. If y'all haven't figured it out, the person that sits in that position really don't make all the decisions. They really don't. Certain things they can do and certain things they can't. You'll find the people that's closest to your neighborhood have a little more power to do things that's going to benefit you than the person that holds that number one spot as we see it in this country. So it's up to you to make your vote count. It's up to you to make your voice count. Go to the meetings. Start having meetings. What I'm doing and a few other males, we're now coming together where we're going to be meeting up and we're talking about strategizing on how to change the way we're doing things, how we're opening doors for one another to enhance our personal goals, to achieve self-employment, self-growth in our financial areas, and also to even get to a point where we praise God the way we should and not the way that people dictate to us to do so. Your vote counts. Your voice counts. It's a wake-up call for all of us. This is an opportunity for you to make a difference. I have many people that have called and they say, man, what you're doing is so powerful and so amazing. You know what? Because we are all waking up together. We're taking this opportunity to share information. And that is so important. To share the information. I don't sit here because I don't have anything else to do. I'm a professional photographer. I do production. I do all kinds of things. But I know that when God told me and He put it in my spirit, I felt that wake-up call. I was sitting in my living room. And my wife said, what are you doing? And I just start setting up to go back and do Real Talk Live. I got that wake-up call. Said, you know something? You got to get back into the fight. You got to get back into that arena. You got to stand up for what you believe, and you got to look out for those that cannot really look out for themselves. You are so right. The pen is a powerful tool if you use it correctly. Don't you know? One of the things that I've learned in my past history is this. What a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot of black folks, what we don't do is we don't document everything. I told many people, when something goes wrong around you, document it. And when you put it in black and white and put it on paper, it becomes a documentation. It's document. It's a document. It's paper. It's got form. It has some life to it. When you document it. I also do that with my journal. I document many things and go back and look at them. It's good to keep a journal. I've seen myself grow. I've seen my life change. I've seen some people go in my life to come in my life, and some go out. Got that wake-up call and realize, you know what, it's good that he or she is gone. And then when I see the ones that still around, I be like, man, these are blessings. We all have that wake-up call. I want you to know that it's about you that makes the difference. I don't care whatever, say you're having a drug problem. Let's talk about that. Say you're having a drug problem. The wake-up call is for you when you realize that you can't do without it. That you want it all the time. That when you have your last dollar, you spend that last dollar on something that's going to go into your system that really don't belong there. You should get that wake-up call to say, you know what, I have to change my life. And when you make that choice, people around you will start getting a wake-up call as well with you and say, yo, I can help you. Let's say that you're having a problem where you're being abused. What people want you to do is, in your mind, they want you to stay quiet. They want you to stay asleep over the situation. They don't want you to acknowledge that what is going on is wrong. But when you get that wake-up call and you let people know what's going on that's disrupting your life, that's not right, a wake-up call to go all over, and then you'll start seeing changes. That's the purpose of me saying the wake-up call, to bring changes. Changes to make things different in your life. It's important for us to do that. I want to break off and just say welcome to everyone that joined in. This is Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I love you all. And I feel like, you know, that it's up to me to continue to move forward to try to help people to see that, yo, you can make a difference in your life and we can do it together. I want to thank Kimberly Wilson, Rachel Pope, Freddie Ward, Susan Pritchett, Frank Mosley, Stephanie Johnson, Kenneth Moore, Samantha Park, Chuck Martin. And let me do a shout out to Sharon. Sharon Moore, it was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. I want to tell quite a few people, you know, if you are having an anniversary, I want to say happy anniversary to you. If you had a death in your family, I send you peace and blessings and condolences to you. Sometimes I get names of individuals, but sometimes I just want to send that love out to you and tell you that, you know, God is good, and this is a time that you may be having to deal with some trials and tribulations, but there's a bright side to it. There's a bright side, I promise you that. So, again, this is Real Talk with Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, positive people. Topic today is our wake-up call. Our wake-up call is here. Where do you stand? Where do you stand? What are you doing about it? What are you going to do about it from now on? You know, a lot of us don't have the conversations about who the mayor is, who the governor is. Some of us don't even know who the principals are in our schools with our children. Now is the time for you to look around and see exactly where you are. Look at your position in life. Look at your position. And things will start to change when you start to make the change first with you. Don't expect people to come and hold your hand. Not everybody have good intentions when they're around you. You got a lot of people be smiling in your face and hope you fall on your face. You got a lot of people say they're your friends, but really they're not. They're looking for the first negative thing that they can judge you over to make you look bad. You got a lot of people that come to you and they be saying, I love you, for real, but what they love is the fact that they can be close to you to try to take from you whatever you got, or whatever you have, or stop you from achieving your goals. So you have to get a wake-up call to start to see what's going on around you so you can make those differences and make the changes in your life. Remember that. This is not about just me. This is about you. This is about us. I also want to let you know, this is Real Talk. I do this, but I also like to bring in entertainment and have fun too, because I don't want you to think that I'm just the type of guy that I just want to be serious all the time. I have a lot of talents. God has blessed me with a lot of gifts, and I love making people laugh and smile and joking with people. I'm very good at it when I go out. I can walk into a restaurant and the waiter is being mean, and I have them smiling and bringing me some extra water by the time it's all over, because I just do the reverse on them to take that negative and turn it to a positive. So I said all that to say that coming up, I have some guests coming in that's going to really, really have you sitting down with a smile on your face to entertain you. We're going to start looking to do that a lot more. I'm going to start bringing in a lot more talent. I had some individuals that I had scheduled last week that it didn't work out for me. And sometimes that's part of the problem, you know. This is my project, so I'll call somebody or ask them to participate. They may tell me yes, and then at the last minute they'll tell me no, or something comes up that affects them where they can't show up, or whatever the case may be, and I just have to keep it moving. So, but I'm telling you all this, that I have some special guests coming on Wednesday that's going to be put a smile on your face. And then I also have a special guest for next Monday that I confirmed with Dane Robin. And I'm not going to talk too much about him, because I want to make sure I get all this information correctly, because this brother comes from some people who are in the music business, who have made steps in the history of the past that will be there forever. And he's an amazing artist. Not only is he an amazing artist, but he's just an amazing man, period. And I consider him to be a very, very good friend of mine. He just went into retirement after doing over 20-some albums. He's been performing all over, just all over the place. And he's the type of guy, he don't care big or small. He could perform in front of 5 people or 5,000. It wouldn't matter. I'm honored that he accepted the invitation. So on July 20th, I think that is, it'll be next Monday, he will be my guest here. So, to get back on where we are, the topic today, the wake-up call. Come on, let's wake up. Let's wake up and support each other. Let's talk about that, supporting black businesses. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? When you go into the neighborhoods, at least around here, how many times do you go into a place and see that is black owned? And what is it that we do when we see that? The first thing we start to do is to think we want to go in there and see if we can get something for free. We want them to lower the prices because, oh, you black, so you supposed to lower the price for me because I'm black. But when you go into the other restaurants or the other little stores, they got the plastic up where they can make sure that you can't touch them, and the bars up, and they looking at you like you crazy and talking to you any kind of way they want to, and you are busy patronizing their business. And then when they leave, they don't do nothing for your community. Nothing. Y'all better get a wake-up call. Get a wake-up call and start thinking about that. You need to start making changes around you in your neighborhoods, in your communities, to make a change for your tomorrow. Talks like yours is necessary, because when you keep it real and people can see, they can move forward in spite of their situation. They just have to be willing to try. Susan, I love you. I say Susie. Susie, I love you, baby. You know, hey, Susie, actually, I'll be glad when I can get you to come in and sit down with me as well. Susie is she's a young lady who does this professionally. She goes around and she speaks. Very, very talented black queen, and so I would love to have you to sit down. So when you get a chance, you can get in touch with me, and we can get some of your positive dialogue to be able to share with the community of those that tune in to Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. Rachel, I want people to wake up for the second wave. Prep right now, stock up on survival items so you won't be out. Think about that. You have to get yourself prepared, because I'm going to tell you something. Y'all looking at what happened when we thought when the summertime came in, and I was guilty of that. I thought that it was going to just go away. But this somehow or another, there's a process to this thing. I can't tell you really what I believe, because if I tell you really what I believe, they will shut me down. They will shut me down if I say really what I believe. But what I can tell you is this. I know there's got to be some solution to this. Because first I say that because God's in control. I believe that. But when I'm looking at the different things that are going on as far as the education and how we're buying food and how we're moving around in the hospitals and how these different things are taking place, I'm like, something is strange about that. I give you something to think about. Why would anybody now feel so comfortable knowing that you go into the hospital and say you just going in there and it's a 50-50 chance that you can survive, right? And they tell you nobody can come in there with you. Isn't that strange? Nobody? They won't even put you in a bubble suit to let you in? I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. If we go to war, we can make planes and tanks and bombs, but the stores are not stocked with Lysol and the proper things for us to fight this pandemic, this virus. I don't understand it. Wake up call. When you think about what's happening with our schools, you think about about the children who was already struggling and having problems, who was don't have both parents at home to help them, or they got a mother that's on drugs, a father on drugs, or whatever, and this one kid is really trying to do their best, and the only outlet they really had was going to school and seeing the other ones striving in that direction to better themselves. Now they stuck. Wake up call. I'm telling you, it's a wake up call for us all. For all of us to make a change in our life. Wake up call on how you treat each other. The things you're doing. I had somebody say that they was cutting the family off. I laughed after I thought about it. I said, the next time I talk to him, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to give you a wake-up call. Because when you start cutting things off, you be cutting off a lot. See, you thinking you hurting somebody else, you hurt yourself. It's a lot of us who try to say we don't need nobody. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You can be living alone and be as mean as a bobcat, right? I shouldn't say bobcat. That's my wife's nickname. You could be bad as a rattlesnake. I use that. And I shouldn't use that because she don't like snakes. I'm just messing with her. But you know, what happened is that here all of a sudden you thinking you don't need anybody, and you walk out and get hit by a car or something happens, and now you can't walk anymore. You're going to need somebody. If you live to be 100 years old, you're going to need somebody. If you're going to be going off to school and you didn't come from a family that have a lot of money to fund you, you're going to need somebody. People need to think about it. Get the wake-up call. The wake-up call for all of us. We saying these different things. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't care. My vote don't count. I don't need them. That's happening over there. It's not relevant here. You get the wake-up call sooner or later and find out it's right at your front door. What I'm trying to tell you is that we're in a situation that you have to wake up and smell the coffee. You got to look at what's going on around you. You got to see who's going into the office. I'm now starting to trying to figure out what people I need to have these conversations with privately that are holding these offices, like the mayors and the city council people. I want to talk with them. I want to be in the same room with them to hear what is it that they are really trying to do to make things better for all of us. Not just for some. Not just for the white neighborhood. Not just for the Hispanic neighborhood. But for all of us. When you think about what's been going on, this is a wake-up call. I'm telling you stuff that's real. Do you know that people that come from different countries have a better chance of starting a business than most of the black Americans that grew up in this country? We don't have those places where we can go get those loans without being judged because of the color of our skin. We walk in the store, and just because we walk in the store a certain way, we start getting judged. I remember when one time it was all about people wearing a hoodie. They would start judging about that. Black people not the only people that wear a hoodie. But you would think it because of the way that the media portrays us. And it's up to us to start to make a difference and start to demand that they show us the proper respect as we start to show the proper respect for ourselves as well. We get the wake-up call on what's going on around us so that we can see the big picture. There are people that's coming into your neighborhoods and opening up these stores and things like that. Talk to them. Find out, what they're going to do to help keep your neighborhood up. Or they just coming there to rob you. They look at us like suckers. This is something else I heard today too. I want to bring to your attention. And I'm guilty of it. So I say real talk, I keep it real. How many of us run out here to buy the most expensive thing to wear? Name brand stuff. So that when people see you, they'll say, oh, you got on Gucci. Oh, that's polo. We go get the name brand stuff. Have you taken the time to find out if Gucci is supporting your schools, your hospitals, your grocery stores? Most of us who are black, we run to try to get these name brand things, and they don't care nothing about us. They don't care. We have to wake up and see that not all the time is it about the name brand, it's about the purpose of your need at that time. You can get a pocketbook, a woman can get a pocketbook of just a plain black pocketbook and carry the exact same thing that you can carry in one of those most expensive pocketbooks that I'm not going to call their names because I don't want them saying I'm trying to downplay them. But you got to think about it. We got to start figuring out where we putting our money. Did you know, when I say real talk, let me tell you something. When we was locked in, me and my wife was just focusing on paying bills. We just paying bills, everything we could pay right over the phone. Because we couldn't go nowhere. And then we had all bills caught up. And then they started to loosen up a little bit. And we started to realize we can go out. And one day I went out and bought 3, maybe 4 pair of tennis shoes. So I'm keeping it real, right? I'm keeping it real. So I'm not going to point the finger at you. I'm talking about me. And so, as we were starting to go back out, we were starting to get into those bad habits again. And then one day, me and the wife looked at each other, and we got a wake-up call. At the same time, we say, yo, don't fall back into the trap. Don't fall back into the trap. Be aware of what's going on around you. The rich want to stay rich. They do not want a lot of rich new people coming into the arena. By them controlling certain areas, they can keep you at a certain level. And it's up to you to make the change. That's real talk. So I'm asking you, sit back. Start to get the information about who's around you, who's working in your community. Get to know who lives on your block. And it's at a point right now, it's not hard for you to talk to a person and voice your opinion on certain things. And when they're having meetings that you can say, oh, I'm coming to the meeting because I want to hear what's going on, if y'all going to shut the park down. Something, now that I think about this, we're talking about when things change, right? Do you remember back in the 60s and 70s that in most neighborhoods you saw a basketball court, you saw a playground, that that's where you could find, you'll know where you'll find Johnny and Little John, JJ. You'll be like, man, you seen JJ? Oh, he on the basketball court. Go around to your neighborhoods now. You see more dog parks. You see more dog parks than you see for people to go and gather at a basketball court, or for kids to go to have a good time and play different games of that such. Now it's even for you to go to the recreation center, you have to pay. You got to pay to go in there so that your kid can go play a little basketball, shoot a bit of pool. You know how the recreation center. I remember when I was growing up, we had Pendleton Street Recreation Center. And when it really wasn't nothing else to do, that's where you would go. And that's where everybody would congregate. And every now and then something would break out, a little fight here and there. But you had some elders in there that could snap you right out of it right away. They started planting these seeds in our heads while we were young to help us prepare ourselves for when we became adults on how to conduct ourselves. They was giving us wake-up calls right there. How much is that going on around us right now? How much is that happening right now? Wake up and look at it. When I talk about I ask you, go to YouTube, subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. Let me tell you something. Every time that one of our programs move forward, that's a blessing for us all. Because if you think about it, we praise Tyler Perry for what he did from opening up in Atlanta, but it's this one Tyler Perry. Look what he's up against. We, the people, have to make changes. You know what I'm happy about? I'm happy about white America waking up and seeing that they can't sweep this stuff up under the rug anymore about the abuse that we've been going through for hundreds and hundreds of years. I'm happy that a lot of us, our now strong figures, are starting to speak out and say enough is enough. They knew that we was getting killed. They knew we was going to jail for nothing. They was locking us up for anything. And in some cases, they still are. Wake up. It's a wake-up call. Vote. I'm telling you, we have to show this country that we are the people of the country. It is up to us to make that change. Look around what's going on. Don't wait till it's too late. Because I'm going to tell you something. You wait till it start getting cold again. Oh, you're going to be in for a real surprise. When the flu season come back. When it's easy for you to catch a cold. You better start getting prepared. You better start getting prepared now. You better be working on wake up and work on that immune system. You better wake up and work on what kind of foods you bringing into your home. You better wake up and start making sure that you are investing your money into the right things. Take yourself and get where you can grow. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there to build your community. You know, I realized something. Excuse me. I realized something when I moved into this neighborhood where I live. When I first saw the house, the grass was real high, and the house was in bad shape. And so I was convinced, me and my wife, to go ahead and take it. And I know me, I'm the type of person, I'd take a negative return to a positive on anything. And I looked all around at all the other houses, right? And I saw how they was keeping up the yard and everything. And the moral to this is that I got the wake-up call, because when I finally got in here, I woke up the next morning, and the first thing I started to do was groom the yard. You know why I did that? Because now I want to be in the same runnings with the rest of them. Okay, Susie. There are those of us that don't know if the item is real or except that is the name they see on it. I do have a lot of name brands, but I get what you're saying about supporting those that help our community. How about that? You know, I'm not telling you can't buy no name brand. I'm not telling you that. But you need to find out if they're supporting you. Because why would I want to buy something that has a name brand on it that's supporting trafficking of children or grown-ups and selling people? Do you know that when you start to check out and Google some of these people's names, you'll find out that some of them come from some real sad situations, meaning they don't really like certain people. They support only certain people. And some of the people that they don't support are you. But we run out here. And it ain't just white people. I'm trying to tell you, it's a lot of black folks that got money and got product. And some of them don't put back into the neighborhood either. Back into the economy. I be laughing because sometimes when I hear that they sent a whole lot of money over to Africa to do different things, I ain't saying don't send no money over. I ain't saying that, but I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of schools and stuff around in the neighborhood that could use some extra thousands of dollars to help the education for the people right here. Wake up call. Welcome, Lee Goody, Rain. Oh, Lorraine, what's up, darling? How you doing? Peace and blessings to you. Love you, babe. Jason Harris, Dre Hollington, Linda Fair, Cheryl Henderson, Don Jarrett, my brother Don. Hey, we hit over 500 on our watch the other day, Don. That was powerful, man. They love the conversation, the dialogue between you, Norman, who we call Fleet, and myself. It was powerful. Ronald Henry, Dane Raleigh, Robert Bradshaw, Annabelle Zelaya, Anita Henry, and Cheryl McBride. Welcome. My brother Dane, I appreciate you tuning in. I've already did a shout out, let people know that you will be joining me on Monday, July 20th. We're going to be really excited. That's going to be a real good day. Again, I'll just throw it at you that Dane Raleigh is a musician, and he's just a good man all the way around. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to say the wrong things, because I want to definitely make sure that I represent him properly. But I will be talking about him again on Wednesday and Friday as well. And we're going to be promoting, because we want a nice turnout for when he's going to come in and talk about his music career. He's going to talk about just being a black man in America, things that he's done to help different people. And he's an inspiration for me. He's been that, him and his family. He comes from a very, very talented family. I can't throw out there that he has a gospel group in his family called the Bruton Sisters that are amazing. But much love and respect. And we'll talk about that when we have Dane on next Monday, July 20th. It's Real Talk with Rodney Grimes. Real talk, real talk, real talk, real talk. That's what it is. We keeping it real. And we try to make sure that anything that you need to address, let us know. Depression. We want to, if you got financial problems, you dealing with drug problems, you dealing with abuse, you dealing with anything that you think that we need to address, feel free to send me a message, and we'll do just that. Because it's real talk for you. People to people, me, you, and them. Power to power, the power we possess, the power they possess. And what we do, we positive thinking people. That's how we operate. And I'm just glad that God has given me a wake-up call for me to do what I do. I've many times trying to figure out where am I going to be tomorrow, what am I going to be doing. And now I'm not sure when it comes down to when I depend on other people. But now that I start to make the difference within myself, I now know where I'm going. I now know which direction I want to go. I'm starting to affiliate myself with those who are going the same direction, who's getting that wake-up call to see what's going on around them. We got a meeting coming up Saturday, me and a couple of gentlemen talking about expanding this production. I'm so excited about it. So excited. This is what we're talking about when black people start to make changes. I'm not saying when we say Black Lives Matter, and a lot of people are like, oh, Black Lives Matter, but other lives matter too. Other things matter too. Let me tell you something, and they do. But right now, what's going on right now, what we're getting a wake-up call on is the things that we as black Americans have to do in this country. Because if we don't, and you keep sleeping on what's going on around you, when you do wake up, it might be just a little bit too late. Don't make it all about yourself. Think about the people around you. I don't want to be redundant and just saying the same thing, but I got to get you to understand that it's so important for us to make the difference. It's so important for us to do that. Remember, we have to vote. We have to go to the schools and find out what is it that the principal have in store for our kids. Go sit down and try to talk to the mayor. And believe it or not, they have to talk to you. They may not like what you want to say, but they got to talk to you. And you let them know you're a voter. Come right out. Let them know I vote. And if you do not handle your position properly, I will also vote to get you out of there. This country is built on people. And it's not, they talk about the history of this country. Let me tell you something. I believe this. I believe that it was more good people that came to this country than bad. I just think that people got too comfortable. Some white says, I'm getting production together to produce videos on YouTube on what to put together for emergency. This will give everyone ideas to help your family to live off grid. Hey, let me tell you, Rachel, you are one of the queens of I called you like the godmother. You always trying to think about supporting other people and doing things to help other people. And so I appreciate you so much. And for all the other individuals who've been out there trying to do things to support your community and make changes, I salute you. Susie, I salute you. I thank you for your support. So what I'm telling you, let me just say is, there are those of us that don't know if I read that, didn't I? Yeah. So, I appreciate when y'all do your comments. I have a lot of people call me later and say they was watching, but they won't comment. Your comments are important. I want to hear what you think. I want to know how you feel about what's going on around you. You know, some of you be saying some things that are very, very vital to the conversation that we're having. That's why the Dick, Jane, and Sally reading books made a difference, because it was repetitive until you learned it from sight, sound, and recognition. Do you know that when Susie, girl, you something else. You hitting on some areas that's really, really like right there. Do you know that when we were starting to hear about the history in class, that we thought that our history was only relevant in February because it was Black History Month? Oh my God. That I gotta laugh at. Black History Month. Oh my goodness. So that means that we're only supposed to talk about Black history 1 month of the year. And when we go to school, and our children are supposed to be in there learning about history, and the history that they learn is that we were submissive people and slaves, and we was carrying buckets and walking around uneducated and all that. Let me tell you something. Come on, man. It's always been a lot of positive, educated people of color. It's always been more to us than been shared. The problem is that a lot of us will sit back and we'll watch things start to get swept under the rug and pushed to the side, and we won't say anything. And then when we look around, we're wondering what happened. Wake up call. Wake up call. You got to wake up to see where you need to make the difference. What you need to do to make the difference in your community. It's very important. Recognition. To know how to read first. You know, in our country, that was one of the things that was held back from so many black people. They didn't want us to read, because when you're able to read, that's where you receive knowledge. You know, my wife was telling me that when they used to have the road trips, they used to see who could read the names on the tags and stuff. Do you know stuff like that increases your skills? Do you know that one of the things that I remember, I was born in 1960, so and all the way up to 1970, I can think back on how a lot of the older people that I knew, they didn't have much education. A lot of them didn't go to college. A lot of them weren't in that position to get that knowledge. That's what we're supposed to do right now. Up in one of the rooms in our house, we have a room that is called the girls' room for our granddaughters. We received quite a few items from Rachel that's to educate them. And when we take that time out to bring them to spend time with us, we're not just running around playing games. We're educating our grandchildren on how to conduct themselves, to pick up books and read them, explain to us what they see in it. Reading. Another wake-up call. Make sure that your children, that they able to get on that little phone and that iPad and operate that. Make sure that they can also read and understand those things that surround them that's really important, that's going to change their life in the future. Make sure that they know how to read a contract. Make sure they know how to count their money. Make sure they know that when you're put in a situation where you get ready to buy a house, you need to read all the fine print. Even when you rent one, you need to read all the fine print. I know back when I was coming up, I got to give a shout out to my oldest sister, Kim Grimes. My sister, she used to play school down in the basement. Used to pop me upside my head because I wanted to play my trucks. But she would have me and my baby sister down there teaching us how to read and how to do math and stuff. And it made such a big difference for us in our life because she did that. My baby sister ended up becoming a lawyer. I know that a lot of that came from my older sister, Kim, because my older sister, Kim, was always a smart individual and just a loving individual. And I thank her so much. And a lot of what I do today is because of my sister as well. Me, I chose to go into the Marine Corps because at the time I was hard-headed and I was running around with the wrong people. And I knew that if I didn't do something fast, that I was going to find myself in a bad situation. And so I had that wake-up call. I had that wake-up call one day, and it said, Rodney, do you want to go to jail, or do you want to try to make something out of your life? And I took off running right down to Washington Street in Old Town, Alexandria, and told the recruiter when I came in there, he said, how can I help you? I said, at first I was trying to go into the Air Force, and they wasn't really trying to talk to me, but when that guy came out with that sharp Marine Corps outfit on, and he was like, I can help you. He said, when are you trying to leave? I said, tomorrow. Wake up call. He got the wake up call right there. He said, this dude here trying to do something. I got the wake up call to say I want to make change in my life. That's what you have to do. You have to make changes in your life. Pastor Joshua Cargo, welcome, my pastor. How you doing? Monique Livingston. What's this? Serena Smith. Just call Miss Lee, Miss Lisa.
Just call me Miss Lisa.
Oh, okay. You see why it's important to read? This is, I was trying to, it looked like you had put all this together. It's called Just Call Me Miss Lisa. Welcome, Just Call Me Miss Lisa. Margot Carter, Deborah Valentine, Sherry McBride, Wanda Burry. Welcome, welcome. I welcome you. This is Real Talk. Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive people. My topic today, our wake-up call. That's our topic. Please excuse me. Okay, Deborah Valentine. My mom had me write the checks when she paid her bills, and I went to the bank with her. I'm going to teach my grandchildren the same. Come on now. Come on. I love that. I love that. That's what you want. You want to show them the things. That's what I do with my grandchildren. When they're in there, I just show them different things, and they be watching me, and some of them they got different names for me, but I'm just gonna say granddaddy though. And there's granddaddy. Oh, what's that? Or why are you doing that? And when I show them, it lights up a little spark in them when they learn something a little different that's going to help them in the days to come. Thank you for this subject. It is very, very important for our young people. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Monique. It is. What we have to do, we have to put ourselves in a position where we are paying attention to what's going on around us and make sure that they understand how voting is a very, very important part of their survival, and how education, you don't believe this, you don't have to go to college to get educated. Just pick the books up. Bring books in your house that's going to give them knowledge about handling money, writing stories, anything that they like. They got books for that. When I was doing showcasing with the artists from the DMV, I found out that I was saving my own child by doing this, right? So I realized my daughter, she was and still is a hell of a writer. And she's one day said, "Daddy, I wanna be a rapper." And I said, "Okay." I got one of my friends gave me a track, and I gave it to my daughter, and she went right upstairs and wrote a song to him. When she came back, down with it, and she did it all within a couple of hours. And she said, "Daddy, okay, listen to this," and told me. I was blown. I was like, oh my God, my daughter really got the skill. And so what I realized is at that point, I started to expose her to these things. I started to get it so that she could get knowledge about it. And my daughter has been on TV, been on the radio, she's been traveling different places. And then even with my sons, you know, my sons, I watched them as they educated themselves. My boys, which I'm so proud of them, that they started their own clothing line. They got all the information, and they are moving in the right direction. And it's coming from them just taking the opportunity to pick up some books here and there and read, getting the right information. That's what we're supposed to do with our children. That's what we're supposed to do with our young people. Put them in a position where they know all they got to do is just stretch out and try to seek the information. Give them books, sit right in front of them. If your kid like to draw, go get them that drawing book that shows them how to angle the eyes and where the position of the nose go and where the ears. Let me tell you about that. So when my daughter was about 5 years old, I was watching her draw. And I was like, I could draw very well. My father could draw. And so my daughter actually, she had inherited the skills. And so, and I'm showing you how important it is to have books around and to show young people something. Check this out. And this is something gonna blow your mind, because this got something. This making me come up out the chair a little bit, because this was a little racial situation that took place too. So me and my daughter, sometimes we would sit down with the drawing book, and I would open up the book and I would show her different angles on how to draw and how to position the head and do these things. And so when it was a drawing contest, and I think my daughter was in about the 5th or 6th grade, something like that. And it was a drawing contest, and it was for Black History Month. And so my daughter was drawing a picture of Martin Luther King. So I remember we had the table set out for her to draw, and I went down to fix something, and my daughter said, "Daddy, no, you can't do that." And I said, "I was just getting ready to fix, I think it was something about an eye or one of the eyes or something." She said, "No, you can't do that. I have to do this by myself." And I said, "Okay." And so with the knowledge that she had got from that book, my daughter was able to align everything up. It was so beautiful. So she took the picture to school, the next day and turned it in, and the white teacher took the picture because when people had looked at it, she had won first place in this little area within the pod. And the white teacher took the picture and told my daughter that she was disqualified. And so my daughter, she was crying. She was so upset about it. And she called, told me when she got home. And long story short, I went back up to the school and I went to the teacher and I asked her, I said, I need to know, why did you pull my daughter's picture out of the contest when she won? She said, because your daughter couldn't have drew that picture by herself. And I said, excuse me? My daughter did draw that picture by herself. She says, it's no way that a young person like at this age is going to know detail at the level that she drew that picture. I said, let me explain something to you. We have a drawing book at home that I showed my daughter how to align the eyes with the ears and these things of that nature. I say, matter of fact, I call it Stink. I said, Stink, come here for a minute. Show her how you start to draw the head of Martin Luther King. And so she drew the circle, and she drew a line down the middle, and she drew a line right where the eyes were supposed to be. I said, you see that? I said, that's the first thing she learned how to do. And the white teacher was looking at me all funny, because she knew she was wrong, but see, I had caught her. So we went to the principal. Long story short, the principal I was furious. They didn't want to take back, they had pulled my daughter's picture back, even though she had won first place, and when they gave the first place prize to somebody else, they didn't want to start up another bad situation. So they said, what we're going to do is we're going to put your daughter's picture in the city's contest that was the next level, and my daughter won. She won. But the point to the story, the moral to it is here, this black child was judged by a white lady who wanted to say she wasn't capable of doing something that I taught her from the book that prepared her to become the first place prize winner in that contest. Wake up call. Get them books around them. Educate them. Put them in a position where they can talk to you. Go to them. Don't make them come to you. Go to them and meet them halfway. It says, both my grandmothers served people in the community and helped people to read and write and understand about black history. I send peace and blessings to your grandmothers if they are still living, and if they're not, I say God bless them, and I hope they are resting in peace, because that is something that we all still need to be doing in our communities. We need to go in and we need to make a difference and show people that we care. We need to make a difference. So I just tell you, it is so important for us to get that wake-up call and make a difference. Miss Rachel, how you doing? I think you gotta turn it up. We're gonna try to. I can hear you now. How you doing, Miss Rachel?
I'm doing good. I'm listening to you, and I said, wow, this is a great topic, and I enjoy listening to your story about your daughter. I didn't know you can draw as well.
Oh, Miss Rachel, believe me, I can throw down.
We're going to have a competition.
Hey, you know what? I said I can throw down. I didn't say I was a champion like you. Hey, but
you know what? I wanted to share, and it reminded me of something that happened to me by telling that story, because I have a white mother who discovered me. She was my elementary art teacher. She discovered me, right? And she had a talk with my family, my mom and my dad, to make sure it was okay to teach me on the weekends, right?
Uh-huh.
young man from another school. When my artwork came back, it was pen and ink drawing of the hatchet chick. And someone actually stuck their thumb in the middle of my artwork, right through it, when I received it. And I guess someone was trying to intimidate me, say don't participate again. I said, oh my God, I forgot about that incident. But that did not discourage me. I continued. It kind of like lit me up. Let me show them what I really can do. And then I started participating in a lot of other contests and ran first place under the tutelage of my senior art teacher back then in the day. And the books, the knowledge that my elementary teacher taught me, I started applying that when I moved away from home and started applying for grants. And no matter how many times I got denied, I did not let that intimidate me. I kept correcting myself, calling the people who turned me down, see why did I not get it, and corrected that until I started receiving them. And here I am today.
I tell you, it's just a lot of people don't realize how important it is with children to look at the skills that they have and to capitalize on them while they're young. And you know, because not everybody have to work a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? And,
right.
and when you tap into their personal skills, you'll find out what they're made of when they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I sometimes I don't want it all to say about black and white.
Yeah.
But in this country, do you know a white kid can paint rocks and become a millionaire?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our children that throw rocks into the window and the police come.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the difference is sometimes you have to look at what was it that that white child had that motivated them to paint the rocks and sell them, and what is it that motivated our black child to throw the rock in the window.
Right.
So sometimes you got to look where it starts. Wake up call, it starts right there at home.
At home.
It starts right there at home. See, so it's up to us to make the difference. We can't wait for white America, Hispanic America, Asian America to do something for black America. We got to do something. We get that wake-up call. We got to educate our children and let them know drugs and robbing and stealing and doing all these things that seem to be all, that's what they talk about when it comes to our neighborhoods. They don't go to our neighborhoods where we got kids that A students and going off to college because they are physically and spiritually and smart enough to be put in those positions. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about those things. And it's up to us to bring that to the forefront. That's what real talk. That's what real talk is about. Real talk and Rodney Rise. I'll keep it real. I keep it real. You know, we gonna tell you the truth. Let me welcome Sharon Smith, Leon Carmichael. Hey, Leon, how you doing, my brother? Terrence Hakeem, Russell Price Jr., Miss Thompson, Jai Bilal, Kendra Bell, what's that one? Dale Wesley. Welcome. I tell you, I have to let you know that, you know, it is time for us. And what's that, Talbert? What's that? Lena Talbert. I want to tell you, it is up to us to make the difference. Okay, get the wake up call within your homes. Get the wake up call while you're sitting around doing nothing. Get that energy going where you're going to talk to your child and let them know what's going on and make a difference. Let them come to you and you also go to them. Don't make it so that they're afraid to tell you what they really want to do. if your daughter see some strippers on TV, right, and she started dancing like a stripper, you can't get mad at her. What you do is you educate her and then put her in the right position, because just because she start to mimic what she saw, you can change it where she may become a phenomenal ballet dancer based on you just going to her or him and making that change. Letting them see and get that proper education and knowledge on what is it that they want to do. What's going to make a difference for them. It's real talk. Real talk with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, power to people. My topic today, our wake-up call. Our wake-up call is all of us. Black, white, Asian, all of us. Let me tell you something. When they're going to really start really waking up is when they see that we are woke. When everybody's going to wake up, when they see that we not sleeping on them. When they see that we mean business. When we mean business. What'd you say to that, Rachel?
Hey, everybody needs to wake up, tell the coffee. What is your illusion and what is your reality?
Oh my God, I love that. What is your illusion and what is your reality? Think about that. What is your illusion and what is your reality? Well, I'm out of time. And I just thank everybody that tuned in. And I ask that you always please go to YouTube and subscribe. It's Real Talk with Rodney Grimes. Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, power to thank people. Also, I thank my co-host, Miss Rachel Pope. Rachel is just a phenomenal godmother to us all. That's what I just call her. Like, she's the godmother to us all, man. I'm trying to tell you. Remember, we're going to have some special guests. I can't tell you who's coming in on Wednesday quite yet. But we're going to have a little fun. We're going to have a little fun. Not all the time, dude. It got to be all serious. I'm going to start bringing a little more talent in. See, I've been kind of holding off because some people still kind of feeling a little leery about moving around. And you know, and I let them do that. But we're going to be bringing some talent in. And one day soon, we're going to get Miss Rachel in here and find out if she can outdraw me. You still there, Miss Rachel? I wanted to. Oh! Now you got quiet when I said I'm gonna bring you in here to find out if you really can outdraw me.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna surprise you. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to start practicing a little more because I know your skills. You've been doing this so on a regular, and if y'all don't know, y'all want to go to Rachel Page and see her skills. It is phenomenal. This woman, you think she can draw? You should see her painting her face. Super talented.
Don't forget, you have a special guest Friday.
Huh?
You have a guest on Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She came out here today.
Oh, so she coming?
Just confirmed.
Oh, so it's Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, make sure I get that proper information so I can go ahead and start to let people know what's going on. Hey, you know, and this is so powerful. It's some other things that's coming around that's going to be really good for all of us. And I'm getting ready to expand, bringing in more talent, and making people see, yo, this is an opportunity for us all to be able to expose the things that we need to expose and support one another. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. This is Real Talk with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thank people. Thank you so much, Rachel. Always, sweetheart. I appreciate you. And we give glory and praise to our Father God. And I'm telling you something. Yeah. He loves us all. As I also love you too. Okay. Thank you.